What's up, y'all? Your boy is back. I got a cold. Give me a second. Let me blow my nose right quick. All right. I got a little cold, y'all. But I'm back though. Back like I never left. Actually, I left a lot. Hold up a second. Oh. Sorry, y'all. Boy, getting over this cold. I don't know if I got the bat or what. But hey, I'm here. Did y'all hear about y'all girl, Tiffany Henyard? She is no longer on the ballot for Thornton Township Supervisor. The evil goblin Tiffany Henyard is gone. Well, not gone completely. She still got a little. She still can be written in on the ballot, but she is not running under the Republican ticket. Well, she wasn't running on the Republican ticket anyway. Maybe she should have. Maybe she might have won that one. Whatever. And she's not running on the Democratic ticket. Only way she can win is she has to be written in on the ballot. She has to be a write-in ballot. And let's just say I don't think she's gonna be able to do it. I don't think so. She said she had a gang of supporters, and it was wrong, and also the crap, and it's basically saying a caucus has never been held before for the Thornton Township, which is a lie. That is a lie. I'm not a Democrat at all, but it's happened before. It is a lie, and she acquiesced to the lie. But anyways, let's get into the story. So yeah, let's check it out. Let me switch scenes right quick over here. Let's get into the story. Let's see what we got here. Let's get into the story, y'all. I'm kind of adjusting this on the fly, so bear with your boy for a little bit. I'm just doing this on the fly. But yeah, let's get into the story.
Controversial Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard also serves as the Thornton Township Supervisor.
But in the spring, voters will have the chance to elect someone new or give her another term.
Tonight, in an exclusive one-on-one interview, our Nate Rogers gets her side. He joins us live with her message. Nate.
Yeah, absolutely, Scott and Don. Good evening to the both of you. We spoke exclusively to Supervisor Tiffany Henyard about an hour or so ago. She spoke about those trustees continuing to boycott her meetings. She also talked about funds that she...
Yeah, of course they boycotting you, lady. They don't... You wildin'. You gon' even if you doing... Let's just say, you wildin'. But even if you were doing what you're supposed to be doing, you doing in such an abrasive and loud and arrogant manner that people don't even want nothing to do with you. A lot of times, a quiet government, in many ways, a quiet government it can be a good government, but even if you a bad government, as long as you can get away with a lot of stuff, if you just quiet, and she's not just quiet, she's wild, she's crazy, she's doing everything under the sun, she's doing a lot of shady stuff, so they claim. Even she's under investigation by the FBI. She had people in her on her team, her cronies, who getting charged with who getting accused of rape. It's just the whole situation is bad. People who work for you are getting indicted. Your cronies, the former police chief got indicted with you. Your boy Keith Freeman, he got indicted. Like, man, they don't want nothing to do with you, lady. It ain't just the trustees, it's everybody. You made enemies with everybody. And I'm not saying sometimes you need to make good enemies, but you don't want to make enemies when you a goblin. If you a goblin, you're gonna get good guys who be your enemies sometimes. If you a goblin making enemies, you deserve those enemies because you a bad guy, you a bad person, you a goblin. You know what I'm saying? She is a goblin. She be wildin'. She be on goblin duty. So yeah, let's get it in.
that taxpayers here are owed. But in terms of tonight's caucus, she calls the process unfair.
Us here at Thornton Township, we always had a primary. Always. We never not had a primary where 10,000 residents come out and express who they want.
What the heck is she wearing?
In just 2 hours, Thornton Township residents will get...
Look at this goblin. Look at this goblin right here. Hold up. Look at her. Look at her. Look at this goblin. Let me get a goblin on screen for her. Look at this goblin, y'all. That's her right there. That's her right there. Look at her. That's her. That's her all day. That's the villain. That's the villain. All right, maybe get something a little more flattering for her right quick. That's the villain, y'all. She's the villain. She's the villain. Look at these goblins. That's her. The villain of the story right there, y'all. That's her. Straight up goblin. Straight up goblin. Straight up goblin. Don't know you want to be associated with her, man. Come on. Come on, man. You don't want to be friends with a goblin looking like her. Yeah, y'all. Yeah.
Slate their candidate for supervisor, clerk, highway commissioner.
Rewind this.
In just 2 hours, Thornton Township residents will get to slate their candidate for supervisor, clerk, highway commissioner,
she looked like she about to cry.
Trustee seats. Democratic Committeeman Senator Napoleon Harris is hosting the caucus. Harris is also expected to throw his own name in the hat for supervisor. Tiffany Henyard has been supervisor in Thornton Town.
Now listen, I don't really trust the Democratic Party. You might exchange one goblin for another. You know what I'm saying? So Republicans can be goblins too. Let's not get that twisted. But I think that Democrats are more likely to be goblins because the policies they support are bad policies and evil policies. Whacking babies is a bad policy. It's a policy that a goblin would support. A goblin would support killing humans, all day long. That's what she'd be on.
For 2 years, she's been criticized for lack of transparency on spending. Monthly meetings have also been stalled as Henyard and the board continue to battle over a vacant trustee seat. Henyard says she will indeed attend tonight's caucus to win support from residents.
Can I ask you a real question? Is it really worth it? In terms of just everything that you've gone through.
I want to show the youth of today and tomorrow what it looks like to come out of controversy. Yes, y'all done ran my name through the mud and did everything. But guess what? As you pull the third on me, I must grow from it. And I will grow from it because I done went through it, but now I'm going to grow from it.
Okay.
And of course, we reached out to Senator Napoleon Harris's representatives for comment on tonight's story. We have not yet heard back. Fox 32 will indeed attend both caucuses tonight. There's one caucus for the Republican ticket, a second caucus for the Democratic ticket. In our 9 o'clock newscast, we'll be sure to bring you more information on our exclusive interview with Supervisor Tiffany Henyard. As the ladies here in South Holland, Nate Rogers, Fox 32 Chicago.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, she's not going to... Let's see what this one's talking about.
Breaking news tonight from suburban Thornton Township. More drama for embattled Supervisor Tiffany Henyard.
And WGN's Jenna Barnes is live in Homewood with more details for us right now.
Why
Jenna.
she look irritated already? She noticed some
Ray and Micah,
BS,
we were promised a raucous caucus, and indeed, that is what we witnessed. Thornton Township Supervisor Tiffany Henyard, who was appointed to that position tonight, lost her bid for the Democratic Party's nomination in this rarely used political process. It now appears if she wants to run for supervisor again, it will have to be as a write-in candidate.
Yeah.
That is the sound of an auditorium full of Tiffany Henyard opponents rejecting her nomination.
So I might throw a link in the description below, but I'm probably not gonna do that. But anyways, so they were actually singing "Na na na na, hey hey hey, goodbye." They didn't want her involved at all. She is gone. She has been kicked off the ballots. She is off the ticket. She didn't follow all the rules, which is interesting. She's supposed to be, she's supposed to teach the youth. She says she's supposed to be teaching the old people. She says she always telling people, learn from me, learn from me, learn from me, learn from me. But she ain't. It look like she don't know very much at all, because based off my research from what I've done, is that she had to have all her her seats already pre-aligned. She had to have a trustee, a highway assessor, all these other seats, like 3 or 4 other seats that had to go along with her, and she missed a certified a clerk seat or something like that. So which invalidated her to be on the ticket or be on the ballot for the caucus. And furthermore, she came to this meeting like 10 minutes late, or like 10 minutes till it started, like 10 minutes till 7 or something like that. So you talk all this mess about you learning from the people, and if this seat is so important to you, why would you show up 10 minutes till? I would be there at 6 o'clock at the door already. My people let my people in. She's talking about her supporters weren't let in, right? Because she said she had hundreds of supporters outside. But based off the filming, it doesn't seem like it was hundreds of supporters. It seemed like maybe 50 or 60. It wasn't a lot. They said they was busing her in. I don't know how big the buses was, how many buses they had. I don't know any of that, But for a person who's supposed to know all about these political processes, and you trying to teach the people and whatnot, you seem to not know nothing at all. You seem to invalidate yourself based off your own foolishness. So that's my daughter in the background talking. She ain't never gonna be like them. But yeah.
For Thornton Township Supervisor in the party's first township caucus in decades.
How you ain't let the people be heard?
As she protested the process, arguing her supporters were still waiting to be let inside.
Guys, have a good night, eat the food, and be merry. This meeting is...
He basically said, lady, F you. Lady, forget you, lady. Forget you. Keep it moving, lady. We don't want nothing to do with you. Keep it moving. Keep it moving.
The meeting lasted only moments, but it was strategized beforehand. State Senator Napoleon Harris is the Democratic committeeman for Thornton Township.
So the Democratic committeeman, he basically decides if it's going to be a caucus or a primary. And he decided it was going to be a caucus. Now, Tiffany said there hasn't been a caucus in what? She says there's never been a caucus before. That's a lie. There's been a caucus before 30 years ago in 1993. Who was the Thornton Township supervisor before her? So like this guy right here, this dude right here, he was the township supervisor before her, right? And like it says here, Zuccarelli had been supervisor township, the largest township in Illinois, since his election to the position of April 1993. So they had a caucus prior to this, before he came in, to see if he would get his spot, and he won the caucus. Now she said the caucus has never happened before for Thornton Township supervisor. It has, which again she's just telling more lies. She's telling more lies, and she's not happy with the lies. She's just basically not happy that she's not going to be empowered anymore. And furthermore, she's probably about to be broke. She talking about she going to sue. They're going to see people in court. Okay.
He alone decides whether to hold a primary election or a caucus. Amid the turmoil tied to embattled Supervisor Henyard, Harris chose a caucus and won the nomination.
Democratic nominee for supervisor is Napoleon Harris.
Henyard walked out of the meeting and into a waiting SUV without speaking to us, but here's what she said before the caucus began.
They can't beat me. If they could beat me, they would have went to the polls.
What do you do tonight if you don't get the Democratic?
Okay, whatever the case may be, this is political season. Political posturing and gestures and shimmying is happening for this Thornton Township. And they said they can't beat you. They go to the polls. Okay, well, you can be written in the ballot. If you can be beat, you can be written in the ballot. But, that's, yeah, hold on, y'all. I got to put a doll on my little girl. I am talking to people on the internet. If whoever wants to listen. I don't know if people want to listen though. I'm sorry, y'all, but my daughter's more important than y'all. I'm just saying. So if she needs time for me to put some doll clothes on, here's the doll right here. Say hi, doll. That's what I'm gonna do. Y'all just gonna have to wait a little bit. I know they can't hear you. They can't hear you. You can't hear them because they're not necessarily talking back. Look at pink dress, but she's not a pink goblin. Here you go, daughter. All right, back at y'all. Coming back. Let's see.
Nomination.
What do you mean? I will be victorious tonight.
That's a straight up lie. Talk about what you mean. I will be victorious tonight. No, you're not. You got voted out. The people don't want you. The people have spoken. The people are tired of you. The people are irritated with you. They think you stealing money. Even if you're not doing any of those things, like I said earlier, you have created such a horrible public image that people don't want nothing to do with you. Essentially, in many ways, you might be the Democratic version of Trump. Obviously, I voted for Trump because I voted Republican, but Trump is brash. He's sometimes he can be vindictive. He talks about people. I think he's cleaned it up a little bit since the last time he's ran. He seemed to calm down a little bit more. But in many ways, she's the black female version of Trump. And the people, they like, lady, you can't be the black, you can't be Trump and not do some good. Okay, you gotta at least do some things that the party wants you to do. But you so blatant with it, you so wild with it, and so it's so visible to everybody that people like, you know what, lady, I'm about to sneeze. This cold, this bat, this flu, whatever this is. Give me a second. Hold on. Oof. Here, let me put a picture of the goblin back up here. A picture of her arch nemesis, herself up here. Cover this up right quick. Give me a second, y'all. Give me a second. Oh man. Okay, all right, y'all. I'm black. Basically, you can't be the female version of Trump, and you don't do anything that the party wants. You don't represent nothing. You basically clearly at all and everything. You say you represent the people, but however you represent the people, many of them don't feel represented. They feel like you game in the system. You game in the system.
We'll see. My people out here. They're not gonna go nowhere. The show will go on.
Her allies now figuring out their next steps.
Now,
This is the biggest.
was that all her people? Is this everybody? They said in another newscast, they said it was busing people in. So is this everybody? I don't know. I don't know if this is everybody or not, but it don't seem like it's that many people. It may be 5% of the vote.
Is now figuring out their next steps.
This is the biggest. This is the biggest. This is a fraud.
To fight the result.
This is criminal. I would easily say hundreds of people that were not allowed in to be a part of the process.
It don't look like hundreds of people. It don't look like hundreds of people.
And we did hear quite a few complaints tonight that Henyard opponents were allowed inside before her supporters. We know there was an event going on before the caucus began. Napoleon Harris's attorney told me that was a Democratic Party fundraiser, although Harris himself said it was.
So you had a Democratic fundraiser before the caucus. All them people were already there. And then afterwards, they started letting people in, maybe because it was packed or whatever the case may be. I don't know. It might be some shady stuff going on, or maybe some unethical things. You hold a Democratic fundraiser, an hour or two before the actual caucus to make sure your people are already up in there. So the other people, even though they may not be as many, they still can create a ruckus. Think about it. Think about if he has, say he has 500 supporters, right, for the caucus, and she has 100. So she only got 1/5 or even 200. She still don't have enough to win. But still, nonetheless, they can create enough confusion to make the thing go for hours, to make it last a long time, to create a bunch of nonsense, and maybe try to bully her way in. But either way. Even with all that being said, she still didn't have the necessary people on her ticket. I think it was a certified county assessor to make sure that she could be on the ballot. Which, again, why didn't she do this beforehand? Could she not find an assessor who wanted to be with her, who wanted to run on her ticket? That might have been the case. They were like, "Nah, lady, we don't want to be with you. You wildin'. I'm not finna go to jail with you."
Not a fundraiser, so that's something that will certainly be examined in the coming days. I am told, though, that those people who were let in had their IDs checked to make sure that they were registered Democratic voters who live in Thornton Township. We're live in Homewood tonight. Jenna Barnes, WGN News.
You wildin'. What's this?
What happened, Tiffany? What happened? The vote already happened? Who's the slave? Who's the slave? Who's the slave? Who's the slave?
Now, why wouldn't you tell your people to be there earlier? Why wouldn't you tell them to be there earlier? Be standing at the door at 5 o'clock. Caucus starts at 7. I need y'all there at 5. We gonna be out there. Why wouldn't you pass out food? Why wouldn't you do a Democratic fundraiser? Of all the money you supposedly supposed to be stealing, allegedly supposed to be stealing, why didn't you have your people out there earlier? It's a decent amount of people out there. I'll give it a if they all supporting her.
We won't stand for it.
Tiffany, tell me what happened. None of y'all vote.
Tiffany, tell us what happened. This ain't your crime.
You just did an illegal meeting.
Who's the slave?
We didn't start the 7 o'clock. How they gonna have the vote if we didn't even come in yet? How did they nominate people if we did not go?
Were y'all in there? Did the nomination happen? Yes. Who's the slate? Hey, the media won't tell us who the slate is. Stop them.
What'd you hear, Carol?
What was the slate?
It was really difficult to hear the slate of candidates over the shouting. But Harris was nominated as supervisor. Chris Gonzalez was nominated as one of the trustees. And honestly, that's all I got right now. It was so incredibly loud in there.
Yeah.
A vote. Live in the newsroom to explain more on this political chess game.
Okay,
Well, good morning. Henyard and her slate of candidates lost to State Senator Napoleon Harris. It was done through a caucus instead of a primary vote at the polls, a process that hasn't been used in decades there, and a process Henyard says was unfair. Before last night's Democratic caucus, Thornton Township Supervisor Tiffany Henyard chatted with supporters and exuded confidence.
What do you do tonight if you don't get the Democratic Party's nomination?
Okay.
What do you mean? I will be.
We already see
This is Napoleon Harris.
Henyard has caught the ear of people she represents and the eye of federal investigators who are questioning her use of taxpayer money for trips and fancy dinners.
I've said for a while, it's like, grassroots. It was organic.
See, this is the guy. Y'all need to vote him in again. He nominated her. This dude right here, he part of the Goblin team, or at least very much a fool. Christopher Gonzalez nominated her in 2022 when Zaccarelli, the former Thornton Township supervisor, this dude right here, when he passed away, they needed to fill the spot. And since they needed to fill the spot, they put dude, they had to nominate someone to fill the spot. He nominated her. He nominated the Goblin, Tiffany Henyard. He nominated her solely because she was a black female woman. Like, what? There's no qualifications. That's not a qualification because you black and because you a female. And prior to all of this, prior to her being nominated, it was already wild and chaos and allegations swarming forth from her being mayor at the township. And you still nominated her. Now, granted, he said he was ignorant of everything that was going on. He didn't know at the time. But still, nonetheless, how you going to nominate somebody for being just because they black and they a female? That is not a qualification. Do you pick plumbers based off of that? Do you pick people who do work on your house solely based off them being black and a woman or black and a man or whatever? No one does that, and if you do that, you a fool. You a fool. Now, granted, I love to support black businesses, but if you a black business and you want me to support you, you want me to give you your money, you got to be better than the competition. You got to offer superior service at a better price. That simple as that. You got to offer superior service at a better price. If you want me to vote for you as a politician and you're black, you have to have better policies, better agendas, run the government better than your counterparts. And if you can't do that, I'm not going to vote for you. I'm going to vote for the white boy. I'm going to vote for the Hispanic. I'm going to vote for whoever else. Why? Because they doing it better. Simple as that. And I don't want to care about racism and, we were suppressed for 400 years. That's all BS, man. That's all straight BS, okay? That's BS. That's an excuse, okay? I can't control your circumstances. I can't control to where you was at. That ain't got nothing to do with me. I can control what money I'm going to give you. And I don't want to hear about your complaints. I don't care about none of that. Simple as that. It's my money. I don't care about that. If I'm offering you, if you want charity, and ask for charity, I give out charity. If you say, hey man, I'm hurting, such and such, can you give me some charity? Can you support my business at a, I may not be the fastest. I'm being a little bit overpriced, but I kind of need the charity to help me get me up and help this business. Okay, cool. That's a different story. But if you want my business solely based off your merit, you need to prove it. Okay, and as a rule of thumb, I usually don't give charity to businesses. If you want my business, you need to earn it. You need to show that you're worthy of it. That's what it's based off. I don't give grace to businesses because that's not a grace. That's not a grace. It's just not good. It's just not a good thing. If you want my business, you need to prove it. If you want my vote, you need to prove it. And this dude right here, Chris Gonzalez, picked a candidate, nominated someone solely based off their skin color. DEI. Who's the last person we know who did that? Not Barack Obama. Joe Biden. Joe Biden picked Kamala Harris for vice president solely because she was a black woman. supposedly black. If you talk to Candace Owens, excuse me, I'm not going to go there, but supposedly black. Either way, Joe Biden did the same thing. And you see how that turned out in the 2024 election. People didn't want her at all. And she, you know, she was spending money like crazy. She was spending money to get votes, to get people to vote for her, to get interviews. And she ran a horrible campaign. She picked a super leftist candidate, Tim Walz, who's super, you know, he's super down with whacking babies, you know what I'm saying, after they come out the baby womb, after he come out the mama womb. So he, you know, he fully into baby killing, you know what I'm saying. His policies are horrible. You know, he botched the COVID thing. And you know what? I'm not even tripping if some people botched the COVID thing. I'd rather a politician came out, hey, bro, hey, people, I'm sorry, I got it wrong, but I learned from my mistakes and we won't let that happen again. But, you know, you don't want to admit defeat. You never want to admit defeat, even though it's an honorable thing to do. But, yeah, man, so so this dude, you know, he a goofy. He fell into the same leftist ideology, and look where leftist ideology left you. It left your city, your township in chaos, in turmoil. Who does that? A fool does that. A fool with foolish ideology. Now, he may not be a goblin like Tiffany Henyard is a goblin, but a fool let a goblin in. A fool let a goblin in. Let him in. All right, let's keep it moving.
This thing started at the township, you know, where the people were, you know, just showing their displeasure.
Last night's decision to hold a
they need to be called out. Like, dude, this was because of you. All this happened. You are responsible for this. You are not at fault for everything she did, but you are responsible. You bear some responsibility.
For the nomination instead of a primary was Harris's decision and his decision alone as Thornton Township's Democratic committeeman. After the vote, Henyard tried to protest the process.
How you ain't let the people be heard?
She then beelined it to a waiting black SUV and didn't take questions from reporters. Her allies, however, did.
This is the biggest.
Why didn't she? Okay, whatever.
This is a fraud.
They say Henyard's supporters weren't allowed into the gym for their voices to be heard.
This is criminal. I would easily say hundreds of people that were not allowed in to be a part of the process.
I don't see hundreds of people.
Dismissed their complaints.
People were getting let in at the proper time. We had a caucus. And the people voted for us slated candidates to represent them.
Okay, hold on.
Now, the general election will be held in April. Henyard, who is also the mayor of Dalton, can still run for Thornton Township supervisor, but she'd have to do it as a write-in candidate. A special Thornton Township
if she got
board
all them
meeting.
support, she'll get people to vote her in. What you want me to do? Put one on here. All right, I gotta switch another doll, y'all. Oh man, this cold, y'all, is beating me up. We gotta go get your brother soon. So. Yeah. Okay, here you go. Here's your doll. So let's check out one more. One more of wildness.
Breaking news tonight at 10. One of Tiffany Henyard's jobs is at risk. The embattled Thornton Township supervisor wanted to run for re-election, but after this rowdy caucus tonight, her name will not be on the ballot.
Our Jermont Terry has been following the South suburban political drama for years now. He is live with what happened and Henyard's emotional reaction. Jermont.
Erica and Joe, Tiffany Henyard likes to tell people, quote, "Let me educate you on how this works." Well, tonight you can say she was schooled on how the Democratic caucus works right here in Thornton Township.
Yeah, she got to educate people. Let me educate y'all. Like he said, she got educated.
Also say that she flunked out because her name is not appearing on the ballot.
Folks lined up early and in the cold for the Thornton Township Democratic Caucus. Everyone outside and those inside the auditorium were here to vote on who will be the Democratic nominees in the township, including the coveted supervisor position. And Tuesday night's caucus left the current supervisor, Tiffany Henyard, fuming.
You didn't run none of this the right way. Illegal. Napoleon.
That's Henyard pleading her.
Now she look like, oh my God, she look like she about to cry. She look like she about to cry. Oh my gosh, that's oof. She looked like she about to cry. Hold on, let me get that. She looked like she about to cry right there. She is about to cry. Look at that. Look at that. She is about to cry. She talked about suing, but she ain't gonna be able to sue. You don't want to know why? Because if she loses her seat, that $200,000 she was getting, and basically $300,000 a year, she about to go from making $300,000 a year to making jack nothing, jack squat.
To committee man, State Senator Napoleon Harris. As a committee man, Harris set the rules Tuesday night, the first caucus in Thornton Township in nearly 30 years.
The person who says this seems to be outdated, you say what to that?
People in Thornton Township may be new to caucuses because they haven't had them in a while, but this has been the tradition for many other townships around the state.
And yeah, this ain't nothing new, lady. This ain't nothing new. She didn't know the process and she failed.
Came out to see if Henyard would get the nomination, an uphill battle for the controversy surrounding her administration. Henyard was not in favor.
Again, here go do it again.
I will be suing everybody tomorrow.
How you gonna?
This is illegal.
How you gonna sue? With what money? Okay, what money? What money? What money? What money you gonna sue with? What money you gonna sue with, lady? What money? You about to be broke. Ain't gonna be none of that. Matter of fact, this is all lies, lies, lies. This is all lies, lies, and more lies, lady. This is all lies. It's all lies. All lies.
Ain't nothing but lies, lies, lies. Ain't nothing but lies, lies, lies. Ain't nothing but lies, lies, lies. Ain't nothing but lies.
That's all it is. That's all it is, lady. Ain't nothing but lies, lies, lies. Ain't nothing but lies, lies, lies. You ain't got no money to sue.
This is illegal in your opinion?
Illegal.
Okay. So let's talk about it. I mean, your concern is you brought people in to pre-bus.
All the people outside. They let one person in.
Henyard used Thornton Township buses to transport supporters.
Oh, this ain't even
mostly
big buses.
seniors. Yet many of the supporters did not get inside the packed auditorium of 600 people.
This is a process that's been going on way before me. And it's just I'm exercising my rights as the committeeman to hold a caucus.
And it is legal. When it was all said and done, the caucus voted, and Henyard did not get the nomination. Yet listen to who the caucus placed on the ballot.
The Democratic slate that would represent Thornton Township at the April 1st consolidated election reads as follows. For Supervisor, Napoleon Harris.
Henyard left emotional and upset knowing her name will not appear on the April ballot, to the pleasure of many in the room.
Yeah, they geeked.
I think it's very unfair that I don't get a chance to make the decision of who I want where.
And who did you want to vote for?
I wanted to vote for Tiffany.
She came late, and then she had an attitude because they couldn't get in.
Look at that. Typical black lady. Like, look, you came late and then you had an attitude. Hey, tell it like it is. This was important for you. You should have had your people there hours early. Simple as that. Hours early. But you didn't do that. You failed. You should have had them early at the fundraiser. Cause a ruckus then. You did this is poorly planned on your part because you didn't know what you was doing. You didn't know what you was doing. And this is what happened.
Can only become a write-in candidate, which her supporters say is not impossible.
I think enough people know her name to write her name in, and I believe we could still win it.
Now, to break it down, tonight's caucus was essentially the primary election, and other townships held their caucuses as well on this Tuesday. Now, since she did not win the nomination, Henyard cannot run as an independent, so her only option at this hour is a write-in candidate. Reporting live in Homewood tonight.
Yep, so. But that's all I got for today, y'all.
I'm Dramont.
She failed. She failed miserably. She didn't know what she was doing. She screwed up. She a failure. And it is what it is, man. She should have done a better job. The people have spoken. They don't want to be governed by her no more. I'm not sure if the choice they picking is better than her. I generally believe that the policies of Democrats are bad, as a general rule. But hey, it is what it is. I'm just an outsider looking in at a hilarious situation. Well, maybe not hilarious because these people's lives are in jeopardy. So that is, I'll give you that one. These people's lives, their tax dollars, they feel like they're getting abused. I wouldn't. I at the same time wouldn't want to be in this situation. So let me get the people have spoken. They are trying to look for better governance, but I don't know if they are going to get that or not. Time will tell. So anyways, y'all, you know what it is. Stay black.